Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brennan Lee with Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. Thank you for joining me again. In this video, I want to talk to you about listening. Okay, I already imagined that hearing me, when I say I want to talk to you about listening, I imagine like being a kid or feeling like I was about to be chided or something like that. And I was just noticing that as a reaction I had. Right. Oh no, he's about to tell me about listening. I did something wrong. Okay, so anyway, listening. I want to consider listening with you. I literally called up a good friend of mine and we were talking. I asked him like, hey, what could I contribute as a video, to the general public that is aligned with what I'm doing at Cheng Shin? And he's like, man, I think we need a video on listening. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. And I have a motivation, our current social climate. This is the year 2020. It's not looking good, as far as I can tell. And I don't know that people have the capacity to really hear each other anymore. Or maybe they never did, or they've never been trained. I've actually been trained, and I've spent a lot of time training myself how to listen, essentially, through lots and lots of work, consciousness work, workshops, and other things like that. And that was a plug, by the way. I want you to come do workshops because they are powerful events that kick butt. But anyway, listening. So let's look into listening. So what is listening? What do you when you listen to somebody? What do you do? What's your experience? Most of the time, when people are listening, they will be listening. Yes, they will hear the words that come out. They will hear the sounds. They will make the meaning out of the sounds, given we speak the same language. We've got all that mapped out, so we're presupposing language. We're also presupposing the capacity for you to grasp something that I'm saying, you see, because I cannot communicate to you if you're catatonic. It just doesn't work out. Okay, so the base where we're coming from is you're a cognizant human being. You can recognize that there's somebody over here. We speak the same language, and you get that there's something to get over here. Now, we may not even have to speak the same language for listening to occur, but the listening part, most of the time, from what I can tell, when people are listening, they don't actually grasp the other person's experience. That's what listening is. You grasp somebody else's experience. Now, most of the time, I think that when people listen, they have conflated or confused, and just for funsies, confused is from Ralston. Confused is like con meaning with, fusion, confusion, you see? They've confused their reaction or what happens in their experience when somebody else talks to listening. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is if you look carefully, and you have to look in your own experience to recognize what I'm talking about, because just hearing about it and then having a concept over there about what I'm saying is not the same thing as recognizing what I'm talking about in your own experience. Is I might say something, and then in the other person's experience, they have a reaction, and they have thoughts about what I've said. And they take all of that and squish it together. And for the most part, when people are listening, they're not grasping the other person's experience. They're grasping their own reaction to my experience, or their own thoughts about my experience, or their own emotional relationship to what I've said. None of these are what I've said or the experience from which it comes. So then based on that, there is no listening. There is perhaps at best reacting to. Or, and this is even more prevalent, seems, judging what's been said. And the judgment, what I mean by judgment is like assigning positive or negative meaning to it. You see, somebody yells at me or something, say. And I go, that's negative, I don't like it, they're a bad person. But have I really grasped their experience of whatever is going on with them such that they're yelling? Maybe they are hurt and sad and angry. And I don't get hurt, sad, angry from them. I just get my own reaction, then in that case, again, listening has not taken place. Like actual listening. Like actually grasping what somebody else's experience is for them in their world. And likely, when you do this, if you ever do, and I would like to invite you to do that, it's different. And maybe you already do, is you get, oh, that's different. That's different. Oh, that's not my experience. Oh, that's a totally different experience. Oh, I get it. I get where you're, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Got it. That's listening. And then I might disagree with that. I might not like it. I might even hate what you think. But I still grasp what you think. You see, but my reactions are different than grasping what you have going on. You see how they're different? They're not the same thing. And it appears to me in this culture, in this day and age, 2020 USA, okay, there's no listening going on. Or if it is, it's rare. There is somebody says something, I have a reaction, I go, that's wrong, fuck you. That's what we're calling listening, as far as I can tell. And I want to invite you to a different perspective. Because I believe it's more empowering to actually grasp the experience of the other person, because if I'm not mistaken, and again, I'm a little bit going off the rails here. If I'm not mistaken, if we're going to make something happen, there's a large power in working together as a culture rather than against each other. Now, we can work against each other. There's nothing that says that we cannot. There's no rule book that says we can't work against each other or fight each other or have, different views. It's just if we are to be powerful, team is necessary. We need to be on the same team in some degree. Or not. We can fight each other. And one of the aspects I think that can help this in this case is grasping that there are other people's experiences out there that are different than your own, and there are other people out there, they have a different experience, and they might not agree with you. But that doesn't mean you can't listen to them. Listening doesn't mean you agree. Listening doesn't mean you disagree. Listening means you grasp their experience. That's it. And then whatever you do after that is whatever you do after that. Totally different, you see. But the listening part is getting what's going on over there. Okay? And then my teacher, Peter Ralston, in addition to this, this listening, and we do powerful listening exercises in workshops that we do. Shameless plug, come on down, do a workshop, please. You're invited. Very powerful stuff. In addition to listening in the consciousness domain, Peter Ralston talks about listening in the martial arts or in a fighting context. So listening takes on a different form, and it's more like feeling or sensing or intuiting what's over there with one's bodily feelings and sensations. You see, this is listening to or sensing-ish, but listening to the movements of the other person or listening to their mind and intention and their strategy. Listening, grasping what's over there. In a body feeling, that can then be applied to physical techniques where you need your body to do that, aka the feeling, the body sense. And that's listening in, say, martial arts or fighting. But still, it is grasping the experience that's over there. It's not my experience, it's what's their experience. What's their body doing? What's their thinking and strategy? What's their movement happening? You see, it's listening in a different domain, you see? The principle still applies. So I wanted to share this in an attempt to bring some awareness to this aspect. to invite you to consider an empowered relationship to listening, and also in an attempt to serve my country to some degree. I have a desire to bring the people together. I don't think it is powerful to be fighting each other. I think it is powerful to find a way how to work together. And I see that listening could be a powerful aspect that would assist in these efforts. Okay? So please consider that with listening. This is Brendan Lee with Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. It's been an honor and a privilege. Hey, if you want to get serious, please check the links in the description. Come to a workshop. You're invited to do more work, but only if you want to get serious. Okay, much love. Catch you later. Take care.